the job search is not a sprint. It's not a marathon either. It is a race of undetermined length. If you're job searching right now, you're in the right place. Welcome to Land Your Next Job, the show that helps you move from ghosting and rejection to interviews and offers. I'm Erika Parker-Price, a certified career coach with a background in tech who has spent nearly a decade helping professionals land roles at companies like Microsoft, Google, and mission-driven organizations. Each week, I share what's actually working in today's job market, from LinkedIn and networking to how AI is reshaping hiring. You'll get clear strategies and inspiration so you can run this marathon without burnout or guesswork. Follow the show and let's land your next job together. Welcome to Land Your Next Job. This is Erika Parker-Price. Today, I am going to be addressing one of the most common questions I get from job seekers. And that question is, how long is it going to take for my job search? I get this from people who are brand new on the job scene. I get this from people who are still working and want to know how long they should plan for. I get it from people who come to me when they are months or even longer into their job search. And the reason I say address rather than answer is, spoiler alert, there is not a single answer to this question. But if you were listening to this episode, you probably already know that. Long ago, there used to be a rule of thumb that for every $10,000 in salary you were looking for, it was a 1-month job search. So let's say this was 10 or 20 years ago. People would say if you were looking for a $20,000 job, you could get it in 2 months. If you were looking for a $100,000 job, you should look for 10 months for that type of job. The truth is, and I actually went back and did the research, none of that was grounded in anything remotely resembling data. I think they're saying bigger job, longer search. That was the gist of it. Nothing that supported that whatsoever. I have gone and done the research in 2026, and the truth of the matter is there's still not any satisfying answers. If you look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they will tell you that the mean for the job search in 2026 is 12 weeks. They will tell you that the median is closer to 26 weeks. But the reality is that even with that specificity, it doesn't tell you what industry, what level, what geography, any of the things that are relevant to your job search. So I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability based on my experience. One thing that I do like to do is give people a minimum amount of time, because I think that's honestly usually a surprise. I say a minimum amount of time as 3 months. And the reason that I say 3 months is because the process itself takes a long time. I am talking about the process of applying to a job, using your connections to support that application, doing a screen with the recruiter, making it through a full interview loop, going back for any follow-up interviews, homework, presentations, panels, all the things that companies seem to be throwing into the mix, getting an offer, negotiating that offer, and then finally the background check. Even if everything goes incredibly well and quickly, I'm still not seeing it take under 3 months. I say this in lots of my episodes, but the truth is that companies are very slow moving right now. They are slow at every step of the process, whether it is inviting you to an interview, giving you the offer, doing the background checks. All of that is slow right now. And so I put that number out there to be realistic. If you are somebody who is getting in and out faster than that, congratulations. I think that's amazing. It just isn't the rule of thumb that I'm seeing. And so I want to give people that number because I don't want people to think that 3 months is a long search and a short one would just be a couple weeks. I think that's kind of the bottom of the number, and I think you should plan for more. I will say that the one exception to this, the last episode I recorded, episode number 24, was talking about choosing to do consulting or contracting, specifically taking a 1099 role, and those may be your fastest way back. So that can be an exception to this rule. Now, what are the factors that go into it, and how can you find out what that number is going to be for you? The truth of the matter is there's not going to be an answer. I used to tell people the job search is not a sprint, it's a marathon. But the truth of the matter is the job search is not a sprint, it's not a marathon either. It is a race of undetermined length, and you're not going to know how far that race is until you can see the finish line in front of you. Sometimes that finish line moves while you're approaching it, and I have seen this happen in real time. And I understand that that is incredibly frustrating, that nobody can tell you, if we keep my metaphor going, that you're supposed to be suiting up and putting on your running shoes for a 5K, or if you're going to do a 50-mile ultra marathon in the mountains. I understand how hard that is, but I deal in reality here. So what do you need to do to prepare for it? I think knowledge is power. I think understanding that the job search in 2026 is not going to be short is helpful. It can help you plan financially. It can also help you figure out if you need to have any sort of plan B options. It may help you figure out what's the scope of this search that I'm going to be doing. Am I looking for my dream job right now, or am I just looking to get back to work? In terms of estimating how long your job search will be, and I say estimating because honestly, there is no answer to tell any given person how long it will be. It honestly depends on what's available right now, how you do in the interview. All of those factors go into it. But I think the best thing is to see what's happening for other people in your industry, in your location. I say in your location, assuming that you're looking for something that is hybrid or in person. If you're looking for remote, I would say, first of all, that tends to take longer because those jobs are incredibly competitive right now, and it may be harder to estimate how long that will be. But the best thing to do is to look at people in your field that have also been looking for jobs. Maybe you will find that you see people that have gone back to work quickly. Maybe you will see people that have been out for more than a year. It can be a guide. It is absolutely not something that will tell you how long your search will be, but it can give you a little bit of guidance to give you some suggestion. Now, knowing that this is an undetermined length, how do you handle that? And I think that's one of the biggest questions that I address here on this podcast. It's the reason that I talk about things like burnout in episode 7. Check that one out if you haven't already. It is really talking about caring for yourself, giving yourself the physical, mental, emotional energy to make it through a longer search. It is the reason that I do all of these episodes that give you tips and information on how to shorten the job search, how to do the connections, what your resumes and LinkedIn need to have on them. And it's also the reason why I run a community, right? It's important that you're surrounded by people that know what you're going through, that understand what you're going through. It's also super helpful if you have a guide on that path, somebody that you can ask those questions of. But the biggest thing that I wanted to say today is just the acknowledgement that I understand how hard it is to keep going in that race when nobody has told you how long it is, right? If you were signing up for a race, you would know just how many snacks to take with you on that race. You would know how often you should stop for water. You should know what you should wear for that race because you'd know what the weather would be. In this case, nobody gives you that information in advance. And it's not really available along the way either. There are ups and downs, peaks and valleys on this. And that's why I do this podcast, to be here, to support you. I have a new episode every Monday. I hope that these help you. I hope that this one isn't disappointing, that there wasn't an answer in terms of how long it's going to take. I want to be realistic in saying that it is specific to your job, to your role, to your level, your industry, your geography. All of those things matter. And then beyond that, it is also how you show up. It is important that you are applying for the right roles. It is important that you're making the connections you need to land those interviews. And it is very important that you show up right in the interviews. We don't have dozens of interviews coming to us anymore. It is a smaller number of interviews, and that means it's important you show up as your best self there. So that is my best way of addressing the question, and I'm sorry that it is an I don't know answer, but hopefully giving you a little bit of a guide there as to what other people are experiencing can be helpful. So what I can say is keep running that race, keep coming back here for support. And if you ever want more, please come check out my website, erikaparkerprice.com. You can always book a free 30-minute call with me. I would love to have that conversation with you to understand what it is you're looking for and how I can be of help. Have a great week. That's a wrap for this week on Land Your Next Job. If this episode helped, please leave a quick review and subscribe wherever you listen. Share it with a friend in transition, and I'll see you next Monday. Let's land your next job together.